What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. I have to admit that today's video will be dedicated to the non-litigation path to the resolution, and I will show you the most recent news about it. So, first of all, let's start with this tweet. And on my yesterday's video, I showed you that the Twitter account of Trevor the Fisherman was deleted, or occasionally was deleted, I don't know the real reason. And I thought that it was even some kind of conspiracy theory that is surrounding the MMTLP saga, because his recent tweet is related to a very important question. Who paid the fees, who paid the subscription fees for OTC markets that allow issuer to make its ticker symbol tradable? And fortunately, we have this Twitter account active again. And let me show you a quite interesting update in regards to this news. So, RareDD 14 hours ago wrote this: since everyone loves AI, sarcasm. According to Gemini, the issuer of the security materials would have been responsible for paying the fees to keep MMTLP listed on the OTC, even if the company wasn't involved with getting the security trading. According to Gemini, it's rare that the fees would be waived. The fees not being paid should have resulted in security being delisted. MMTLP traded for about 14 months. Both George Palikros and John Birda say they didn't pay any fees. So who did? If the fees were waived, why? Why isn't the SEC investigating? And this is very important question, guys. Let me show you that RareDD, basically I want to show you first of all the response to this tweet from Trevor the Fisherman. And let me show you that first of all, FinAI wrote this: you bring up an excellent point. If neither the issuer nor the OTC paid the fees, could this suggest coordinated action by entities benefiting from MMTLP's trading? What role, if any, might FINRA or specific market makers have played in enabling this? And Trevor responded: all roads lead back to FINRA. I thought it was very interesting that Cromwell Carson said MMTLP started unsolicited trading in the 7th. He did not have used the word. So FINRA assigned ticker on the 6th, MMTLP trading on 7th. How many hours did OTC markets have to take care of the necessary checks and balances? Metamaterials would not have been entitled to level 2 data without paying for it. So many things did not occur. The sequence or order of how it should be carried out. All roads lead back to FINRA. And I personally think someone or entity was trusted enough to push through ticker assignment and OTC trading with zero checks. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure out what happened. Sadly, everything else has been a cover-up for this someone or this entity. And let me show you even more details from RareDD. 17 hours ago, he published a couple of tweets. First of all, I want to pay attention to this one. How is it that USGAO has been aware of the evidence linked to the quoted post, but they've done nothing to address FINRA's actions? Is the US Government Accountability Office complicit in the MMTLP fiasco? And he refers to his own tweet that I covered just several days ago. And I want to pay attention to another one that is related to the caveat emptor designation that was issued back in the days. So, if an issuer plans to undergo an exchange on the OTC, the dates and the language in the corporate action are important. In the case of MMTLP, FINRA did something they've never done before and have never done since. FINRA modified the dates and language in the MMTLP corporate actions and forced the issuer to accept the changes. FINRA then revised that initial corporate action without input from the issuer, but without fixing any of initial errors. This confused investors, brokerages, and even the OTC market, where MMTLP traded, because after 14 months of trading, it was only after these two FINRA-created corporate actions that OTC markets gave MMTLP the caveat emptor designation. The OTC markets reasoning was due to potential confusion related to the dates and entitlements contained in those corporate actions. The evidence is in the post below. And guys, this investigation is really mind-blowing, because we have basically two possibilities, and let me show you both of them. So, this is the tweet that was reposted by John Burda, and by the way, in a minute I will show you that John Burda just recently became extremely active in his Twitter account in regards to MMTLP case, and I will prove my words basically within just a couple of minutes. But first of all, let me quote you this tweet that was written by Van Doe. And Van Doe wrote, "Non-witness news special report, FIS and MMTLP, the big question." Good evening, folks. Let's dive deep into one of the more mysterious aspects of the MMTLP situation. Who paid the OTC market fees? According to Germany, the responsibility of paying fees to maintain a securities OTC listing lies with the issuer, in this case, Metamaterials. Even if the issuer wasn't involved in making the security tradable, the obligation would typically fall to them. Yet here's where things get murky. 1. Both George Palikars and John Burda have publicly stated they did not pay these fees. 2. If no one paid the fees, the rule suggests MMTLP should have been delisted after non-payment. 3. If the fees were waived, that's highly unusual. Per Germany, fee waivers are rare and subject to stringent conditions, typically requiring financial hardship or similar justification. The real question, who paid? And guys, these two bullet points are really important options that we have, and each and every option might lead us to extremely important conclusion. First of all, if the fees weren't paid, why wasn't MMTLP delisted for non-payment? And 2. If the fees were waived, who authorized the waiver and why? And guys, both of these options will definitely, the answers on both of these questions will lead us to a very important conclusion. We will find who paid these fees, and in this case we will find out who was behind the scenes, who made MMTLP tradable. On top of that, guys, it is not enough to make MMTLP tradable. We know that it was level 2 of the order book. It was paid for the level 2 of the order book, and this led to this spoofing activity that we all saw back in the days when MMTLP basically had an extremely high volatility times. On top of that, if no one pays for this for MMTLP, in this case, the fees should be waived, and it should be waived by someone who has the right to do it, and definitely in this case all the evidence lead us to authorities. And when we see the answer on each of these, or on just one of these questions, we will definitely find out the wrongdoer, and this will be the broadest path how we can use this information in our litigations or congressional paths. It doesn't matter, but these two questions are crucial. So accountability demands answer. Why isn't the SEC investigating this glaring inconsistency? Investors have been left in the dark for far too long. Call Congress, ask the hard questions, and let's demand the transparency we deserve, MMTLP Army. And guys, again, this call to action is very important on the one hand, but on the other hand, how many questions did we have, and how many of them were answered by Congress? Not so many, I would say. That is why, guys, my personal opinion is still the same. The most prominent path to the resolution is the litigation path. And all of this investigation, all of these facts from these investigations might be included in our current and upcoming lawsuits. And let me remind you that for now, Except the MMAT bankruptcy lawsuit, we have 12 lawsuits that are still active. And in about a week or so, by the end of this month, we will see another lawsuit that will be filed in California State Court. And the most recent update that I covered basically several days ago, that in case of, wait a second, I will show you, in Daniel's case, the case of Daniel Oxer, we have co-plaintiff, and for now we have potentially another co-plaintiff. On January the 10th, I covered this news, and I showed you this quite funny GIF. So let's get back to John Burda's actions. Let me show you how many tweets he reposted in regards to our case. And you can see that one of the tweets that he reposted is this one. Dennis Neal responded to Busy Brand's tweet, and he wrote again, he mentioned MMTLP, and it is not the first time for last couple of days. First time he answered to Daniel, where Daniel asked, wait a second, I will show you somewhere here. Basically, Daniel asked for help of the person who might take care of all public relations in his case. And let's get back to Dennis Neal tweet. He wrote, here, MMTLP, what's bugging me on Ricochet? And he refers to the tweet that was written by Busy Brands. And Busy Brands wrote in response to Representative Ali Crane tweet. And guys, if you don't know who this person is, he is a Congress member, and he was, if I remember it correct, one of the first representatives who wrote the letter to Congress with the tricky questions in regards to MMTLP case. And he made it basically at least 1.5 years ago, somewhere in June of 2023. And Busy Brands wrote, American veterans and their families are being defrauded by the financial regulatory agencies tasked with protecting them, though their heroic service to God and country can never be repaid. Protecting their investments, retirements, and financial independence should be our primary endeavor. Questions need answers. Congress needs to act. After 764 days of the MMTLP fiasco, investors deserve a resolution. Set a hearing, help MMTLP. And guys, let me show you again this tweet, and I covered it back in the days, I guess more than a year ago. Here you can see the pilot of Marine One. It is the first helicopter, first president's helicopter, and you can see that this person is also an MMTLP shareholder, but unfortunately he was also robbed by authorities, despite the fact that he served for several years as a pilot of the most famous helicopter in the world. And you can see Ronald Reagan is moving out from his Marine One. So I think we have to have more actions from the legal field, because guys, let's again take a look at other tweets that were reposted by John Burda. He reposted the tweet of Rare DD that I just covered to you, that I just covered basically a couple of minutes ago. On top of that, he reposted the tweet of Tony, and Tony reposted the tweet of Thomas D. Murphy, US Senate candidate. And here you can see the letter, the tweet that was written basically from July 16th of last year, where you can find the letter that was written by Mike Crappa and J.D. Vance. And these two people are very, for now, they have a lot of power, and they will have even more power after January the 20th, when the President-elect Donald Trump will be the president, active president of the United States of America. On top of that, he also reposted several tweets from other community members, MMTLP community members. And guys, all these tweets, all these facts are very important, but ask yourself honestly. We know that we have plenty of questions that should be investigated and answered. But how we can do it? In my opinion, the only path is the litigation path, because we can ask the judge to basically dig deeper inside the case that is filed or that will be filed and might be filed in the foreseeable future. And these answers will definitely force the wrongdoers to act. And this is the case how we can see the substantial breakthrough in our case. But some people, for example, wait a second, I will show you somewhere here. Due Diligence wrote this tweet: MMTLP, just a suggestion. Maybe it would be best if people stop publicly naming specific targets in Congress. We are being sabotaged, and going on public space to say who we should be going to for help is like telling bad actors, hey, here's who you should sabotage us with. Please stop. And if you see someone doing it, please DM them to stop. Again, just a respectful and humble suggestion from a guy who's met with over 100 offices. So guys, he met with 100 offices, and we are at the 765th day of since the U3 halt was implemented. But with all these meetings, with all these conversations, why didn't he post any results of his actions? I think this might be only, I think the conclusion is quite obvious. This path will not lead us anywhere, or potentially due diligence want to hide this information and want to stonewall the efforts from the litigation path. I don't know for now, it is just my speculation, but guys, just think of it out of the box. On top of that, let me show you this tweet that was reposted by Scott Trott and that was originally made by Mark Basile on November the 1st of last year. And I know that you don't like Scott, some of you don't like Scott, and some of you don't like Mark Basile. But this tweet is very important. He published this screenshot of Mr. McDaggins, and Mr. McDaggins is the due diligence Twitter account, another his Twitter account, and he wrote this: that's a great idea, and okay, MMTLP family, that's exactly what I did. I just called a securities attorney that I'm close with, and even he said he's never seen anything like this before. He said he thinks the TRCH shorts would have no choice but to cover. But he's asking a couple of associates to look into it. I think they have to cover too. He was perplexed at this, and he said, this is a very stimulating. He said he will let me to know by Monday. I give you all my solemn vow that this is the truth. I will follow up Monday with whatever he tells me. He did say that the attorneys handling the S1 are some big fish, and that one of them represented Musk in his Twitter purchase. Again, I'm not gonna say what my position is, but I do wish luck to everybody. I will follow up. So, and this tweet, as you can see right here, was written on November the 3rd of 2022, about a month before the U3 halt was implemented. And this is quite a self-speaking tweet, and I have to admit that, in my opinion, this is something that leads me to the conclusion that due diligence potentially acted as a pumper of MMTLP case. And guys, definitely everything should be investigated and everything should be proven by the judge. But this tweet that was written by Mark Basile is very important, and probably I will cover it tomorrow, because it leads me to another quite important conclusion. And I have to double check all my thoughts in order not to mislead you by any means.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing okay.